I mean, who didn't know that she's just a pretty face cashing in on thirst traps? Who really believed that she's legitimately talented? This week on Hip Hop Stocks, where we use music to explain the stock market. Music is up, as it seems we're reaching the bottom of this free fall, and you all know what to do when the price is low. It's time to invest. As last week we were shocked to obtain some quality music from the Space Jam 2 soundtrack, one of the few moments where musicians of this generation actually rose to the occasion of what could be a historical moment. With the crossover of filmmaking, athletics, and music, surprisingly it wasn't the music that fully let it down. And this is the reason why we listen to everything, not just the popular releases and say boss or logic. A good investor listens to all the news to come out with a level head and uses this information to determine which way the stocks will go. Styles P dropped Ghosting, for those of you long-term investors who've been hanging on since We Are the Streets. And I love Styles P. He became my favorite stock in the LOX ETF. But I sold my long position in these stocks long ago, and this album shows you why. If I wanted to hear the old Styles P, I would have played the old albums. If a stock isn't making moves to compete today, then why would anybody want to buy it today? Bia dropped a remix, The Whole Lot of Money with Nicki Minaj, and just when you thought that Dame Lillard was the most impressive by carrying Team USA in a losing fashion, here comes Nicki. A track that really had no hope of being anything, all of a sudden got some viability thanks to Nicki's clutch performance. Sadly, even Dame Lillard couldn't get Team Trash past Australia. Yet the real reason why the stock market is up is with IDKs, you see for yourself. A stock from PG County that I've been watching for a while, showing that his stock is an absolute steal at this price. Invest in this one. This may be the cheapest that you'll get this stock, as a Kanye trajectory is plausible here. Not likely, but not out of the realm of possibility. IDK needs promotion and more notoriety. If he gets that, this stock can go to the moon. The only question is if music is consolidating at this level, or are we going to fall more? As another Pop Smoke album is being the headliner for this week, as well as a Trippie Redd single, I am fully expecting the stock crash to continue. Therefore, I'm buying a put option here. But let's go ahead and look at the biggest trending stocks for this week. Coi Leray is down for one of the worst XXL freshman freestyles in the history of them. She may still be trending for it right now, as she is enshrined with the likes of, say, Iggy Azalea, Designer, Made in Toyo, Lil Pump, and many more. So many you have to wonder, does this even matter? I mean, those people I just named did just as bad, but you know them. The lack of talent is embarrassing, but it isn't the be-all, end-all of this industry. I mean, who didn't know that she's just a pretty face cashing in on thirst traps? Who really believed that she's legitimately talented? Those who do clearly know nothing of talented acts that have come before and really only care about the hype surrounding a person than what they actually do. But I don't blame Coi Leray. Did you know Benzino is Coi Leray's father? Yeah, for those who don't know, he's not a friend of this channel. Why? Because he's trash. I made a video long ago and he's seen it. You would be surprised how many of these rappers out here know of and dislike me at this point. But this is your legacy, Benzino. If only you listened to someone who actually knew what he was talking about, your daughter would be better off today. Honestly, you probably would have a positive relationship with her right now if you listened to me, but instead, you're gonna have to hold this L. And she needs to hold one as well. If you only gave her the discipline and understanding of what makes a quality rapper, Raymond, she wouldn't be in this position. But since you never knew, instead of being a great legacy pushing your name in the all-time history books, she is instead an embarrassment / cash grab, and it's all your fault. All children hold the potential for greatness, but when those who raise them don't know what they're doing but have connections, these types of situations happen. Say one thing about Benzino, He's a master at sabotaging himself. So how are we playing this stock? We never had anything in this stock to begin with. We all knew something like this would expose her eventually, but it doesn't change a thing for those of you who are invested in her. Rap skills don't matter to you, and Coi Leray's rise exposes this. I still think she's going to have a small, brief career and maybe end up on Love and Hip Hop. Jack Harlow is down. As David Banner once said, where's all the white rappers when they mowed Mike Brown down? Recently, white rapper Jack Harlow, who isn't known for making any great music, just being a white rapper, wanted to tell us how difficult it is being a white rapper. And I quote, "Feels like the country going into these new civil rights moments almost shifted away from let's have the white boy at the party. It's become less about let's all be diverse together and turn back into hip hop being it needs to be a black genre." And you damn right. Continue. I feel blessed to have a voice in this period because 1, I'm not a street artist, and 2, I'm not black. The only thing keeping me here right now is the level of authenticity of being myself. Really? If authenticity is what's keeping you in the music industry, why does Snitch 9 still have a record deal? He clearly isn't authentic to the music that he makes, but he's still promoted to the masses who aren't rocking with him, and he's going to get himself killed. But you have the gall to be a guest in our house and talk about how difficult all rules are. Nobody ever said that we needed you to rap, and you aren't using your platform to help the house that you are in. But you want someone to feel sorry for you? See, Yellow Wolf apologized for the use of Confederate flag, even if they started taking it down all over the internet. Ritz actually speaks out about the injustice that my people are faced with. What do? The same as white privilege Post Malone. We allow you to thrive and live out your dreams in our culture, only for you to do nothing for those who gave you everything. And now people are questioning if your presence is actually needed and you want to call foul. Nah, you can ride out, colonizer. There's no more room for people riding the fence. Either you ride for truth and justice or you get rolled over. How are we playing this stock? Until he uses his platform for good, we are selling this stock. Time to pick a side. Just existing for bed witches to drool over you isn't going to cut it. Diddy is down because too many cowards would rather live under a system of white supremacy than actually fight it. So this week, Diddy shocked me and spoke out in favor of sister Coi Richardson. Coi, who's been suspended from the Tokyo Olympics for testing positive for marijuana in her system. An unlikely turn of events coming from the guy who is still sitting on all the bad boys' masters while all the artists starve. Didn't see this one coming, but as much as I dislike Diddy, I give respect where it's due. Not only did he post about it, but when all the trolls saying that this isn't a race thing popped up, he stood on it. Now he stood on it the wrong way though, referencing Michael Phelps, who was indeed punished for the bong image, but keep in mind, he wasn't arrested when the substance was illegal nationwide, when people were doing 10 to 20 years with less evidence. No, he just did a 6-month suspension and was right back at it. See, that's where the racism was, Diddy. Let me teach you how the Tokyo Olympics has thus far been racist towards our people. Did you know Coi Richardson's suspension would have been over in time for her to compete? But this is like the Clippers saying that we don't need Kawhi to beat the Suns as they tried to rush him back from a partially torn ACL. Did you know that a black-owned swim cap brand made for black hair has been banned from the Tokyo Olympics? Anything Black Lives Matter is banned from Tokyo. Yes, the Olympics that allowed the Nazis to not only compete but even host is trying to tell you that black people fighting for survival are wrong. Have you ever heard of black people's experiences living in Tokyo? How they say obvious racism is just a cultural misunderstanding? And Tokyo is one of the places that I want to visit. After this show is posted, I will probably go live on Street Fighter and answer any questions about this show. See, Street Fighter was created in Japan and the scene is in Tokyo. I badly want to experience that lifestyle, but I will never turn a blind eye to when my people are mistreated around the globe. So how are we playing this stock? Good for you, Diddy. You need to humble yourself and learn about the black struggle and why you were wrong for all you've done to keep yourself up instead of helping others succeed. It's a good start though. We need more of this.